No spoilers, of course, but we can say the ending of this film opens up an interesting path, and we know chapter 3 is already in the works. So is there anything you can say about it to comfort the hearts of every fan who's already eager for the sequel?
A new fatality.
Johnny Cage is the only person that I think that I could possibly come up against.
You could win.
Like,
I'm not sure I should tell you that. I've already tried to pitch a few to Ed and make some extra money.
Well, first of all, I'm Anna from IGN Brasil. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right. How you doing, Anna?
I'm great, thank you so much for asking. So I'm gonna start with Carl. We know Johnny Cage is such an iconic character and the fans were so excited to see him on the big screen. But we know they can be very, very demanding. So how did you deal with the pressure of joining this franchise, that is, if you felt any, and still manage to bring your own vision of Johnny?
Well, I won't lie. There was a certain element of being terrified. I'm walking into a martial arts movie, you know, with actors like Louis Tan and Max Hong and Ludi, who are all very, very capable. And my martial arts experience is limited, to be fair. And then on top of that, you have this incredible fan base that are so dedicated and passionate. And so, yeah, there definitely was a pressure. But, you know, for me, what I recognized was that it was important for me to play to my strengths. And I was very grounded in the fact that we have a fantastic script. That Johnny's just got such a wonderful arc in this movie. And he is a fish out of water. He's out of his depth. He's a character who's neglected his martial arts training and is at a low point. And it's at that very low point and that very sort of point of insecurity that he gets called upon to help save the world. And yeah, and just I had a lot of fun.
And Josh, Kano is a pretty chaotic character, to say the least. I mean, you never know what's gonna come out of his mouth, right?
I never know what is going to come out of his mouth.
Well, imagine us.
Yeah.
So, what is more fun, playing Kano or watching yourself play him?
Oh, well, I haven't yet seen this film, so I can tell you that it's more fun playing him because I typically feel pretty uncomfortable watching myself back. Are you the same way?
Yeah, same way.
I really don't enjoy it. But so I love playing it because I don't really, in the moment, you don't know how it looks. It's just sort of instinctive. But no, it's a character that I would happily play for decades. He's fun. He's ridiculous. I get to sort of be Australian, you know, times 10.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. But I mean, yeah, what could be more fun than that? Just being this brute who's kind of, I guess you love to hate him, or maybe you hate to love him. I don't know.
I think he's quite lovable. I think that's those characters that dare to do and say things that others can't.
That's it.
Those are the characters you love.
Yeah, that's right. I go, I'm glad he said it.
I mean, it's impossible to hate Kano, honestly.
Oh, that's a great compliment.
Carl, even though Johnny is going through a rough patch here, he's still essentially the representation of the Hollywood action hero. So what was it like to step into his shoes after playing someone as ruthless as Butcher? Because, I mean, there's a huge contrast here.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun in the regard that, you know, playing an actor and also shooting a movie within a movie. And when I thought about Johnny Cage, you know, being a sort of somewhat failed 90s, you know, martial arts actor, I thought about, well, who would he have been inspired by? And, you know, there was the obvious martial arts, like, you know, the Bruce Lees and the Jackie Chans and stuff, but also I think a lot of those martial arts guys are trying to break out of the box that Hollywood, you know, typically puts you in. And so they're all trying to be Clint Eastwood and Harrison Ford. So I would look for little opportunities where Johnny was actually imitating his favorite 80s action stars.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was just a lot of fun elements, a lot of facets to the character that were fun to play.
I think we can say you're a fan pro now.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
So what was it like incorporating them into your fight scenes?
Oh, seamless. Honestly, it was so much fun. They were like an extension of my arm, and I had a blast, like just flipping them open and I mean, I was annoying with it, you know. Just, I had so much fun working with our stunt team, and yeah, it was fun and seamless.
Amazing. By the way, I couldn't help but wonder if you got to keep one of them.
Oh yeah.
Really?
I begged.
She made sure that
I was
happened.
like, please, can I have one? Yeah.
Absolutely right. Yeah. Now, Tati, we've seen you in the adaptations of The Last of Us, Uncharted, now, of course, Mortal Kombat, and also Intergalactic's in the works. So, what keeps bringing you back into these universes, and how different of an experience has Intergalactic been compared to these other projects?
So I did not choose the video game world by choice. It kind of just came to me that way. Particularly with Mortal Kombat, I think what made me super excited was the nostalgia that it had for me, because I did play the games growing up, and my sister played the games a lot growing up. My sister's 13 years older than me, and so yeah, that's what drew me in this way. But with Intergalactic, I think it's such a different medium to be able to build a character and a world from the ground up. Has been really rewarding in a different way. But yeah, they're two very separate things. But it's just been an honor to be able to honor games like this that do have such a following and do have such a special place in people's hearts. So to be able to bring these characters to life is really, really wonderful.
Well, I would like to start with Martin. First of all, Shao Kahn is terrifying here. Of course, the costume helps, the mask is absolutely incredible, but above all, he does have this terrifying aura. So how was the development of this character? And since we talked about it, how did having a mask hiding your expressions impact your performance?
Well, great question. I think for me, as an actor, obviously your facial expression is such a powerful tool to have, and to have that taken away kind of made Simon and myself think outside the box of how can we demand control and create drama and intense situations. So the answer was slowness and the control of the head movement, and also to try and undersell and underplay the tone of the voice, and to try and create a quiet confidence, which I think helped portray what you were saying there.
And now, Joe, Bihan is back and even more powerful now as Noob Saibot. What was it like to not only come back for round 2, but also working on this new darker version?
Wow, I grew up playing Mortal Kombat. It's not a new thing. I understand Noob because I played Noob, grew up high school, and then in the lore itself, it's the darkest, I think the darker version of Sub-Zero, but it's still the same person. I believe the transformation, because in the first movie, Bihan Sub-Zero is already quite sinister. So in this one, my homework is try to make a difference that people, it's not trying to be more evil, but try to make pretty good distinctive difference that people believe that the same guy, Bihan is the same guy, but it just gained new power, and the power that, transforming, creating shadow and using the shadow to attack his opponents. So for me, it's quite interesting. I really enjoyed the process, and I think it's quite interesting because he used to be an ice ninja, and now he's a shadow ninja. But for all the fans, gamers, it's not something surprising.
Sonia is a very strong and focused character. So which aspect of her personality most resonates with who you are off screen?
I am not very focused or sensible or serious. So
I
it was
love
quite...
her for it.
Yeah, and
the best part of
we
it.
love that about her.
So actually, it's quite a stretch to compare the two of us. I will say I'm pretty good at rolling with the boys, and Sonia can hold her own with the boys. And I'd say that's probably a good similarity between the two of us.
And Ludi, Liu Kang's a very philosophical character, especially here in the second film. So what was the biggest personal lesson you got from this role so far?
I never thought about that from this role so far, especially in the second movie. I think it's maybe how to deal with grief a little bit, because Liu Kang, I think that's a similarity. I think Liu Kang, lost his Shaolin brother in the first movie. I can't imagine anything worse than that. And to be able to accept that and transform it into fire dragons, I suppose, is what I've taken from this.
Yeah. Grief and anger, yes.
Dragons.
Yeah.
Dragons.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Mechad, Jax is best known for his physical strength, But this time he takes us on an emotional roller coaster, if you know what I mean. So what was the biggest emotional challenge you faced in this movie?
That's a great question. The biggest emotional challenge was to show that vulnerability and that emotional availability while still being somebody who you believe went to 7 tours in Afghanistan, somebody who's become a monster internally in their own right to fight other monsters. And there's a fine line to walk between that emotional availability and vulnerability and still coming off as a guy who can intimidate anyone. So that was a fun thing to play, actually.
And the Mortal Kombat theme song is absolutely iconic. It really hypes me up. So if you girls had to choose a song to hype your characters up before a fight, what would it be?
Oh, I had a song.
I had a song too. Well, I had a song because Tati told me she had a song. I was like, I should find a song. So then I found it. No, I loved it. I stole that from you. I was like, yeah. What was yours?
Well, I had to guess I had 2. One was Mount Everest by Labyrinth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it just made the, like, Jade sort of, because I think Jade is like a quiet hype. Like, her rage, I think, is all internal and then comes out when she fights, but it's calm until it's not.
I forget who the artist was, but I think it was called Royal, the song. And it kind of like had this very like dark undertone, and it started building, and then there was like this moment where the drop pops, and that's I'm like all the fans are going off in my mind, you know? Yeah, literally.
I actually had a playlist for my character, and one of those songs was Jekyll and Hyde by Five Finger Death Punch, which was a pretty extreme song. Headphones were worn while prepping for that one. Yourself?
Probably listen to great tracks from Slayer. That hyped me up for sure, especially during the fight scene.
In the gym, I like to listen, well, I listen to podcasts, but I also like to listen to Intro by XX. Do you know that song?
It's a great one.
Yeah.
My boyfriend loves this song.
Oh yeah, it's a good song.
Right.
Good song.
I would choose anything Rufus Du Sol.
Oh.
Just anything.
Yeah, that's good.
Their whole album.
For Jax, I listened to a lot of Viking music. I was blasting Viking music in my trailer before every scene.
What does that sound like?
Yeah, go on.
It was great. It was like it's
Like
really,
the beginning of Frozen, you know? When they're chipping at the block.
exactly that. In fact, it was the Frozen soundtrack that I listened to. It was I oscillated between Frozen and Vikings. You know, because I had to get the sensitivity, as you said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if you had to fight one character from this franchise in real life, who would it be and why?
None.
Right.
I would lose.
Johnny Cage is the only person that I think that I could possibly come up against.
You could
it,
win.
like, but otherwise, like, no.
Yeah.
That's an impossible feat to like. They've got powers. Like, that's not fair.
And we have some pretty iconic fatalities here, but if you guys could create a new one, what would it be like?
A new fatality.
A new fatality.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I should tell you that. I've already tried to pitch a few to Ed and make some extra money. I think that's a hard one because, I mean, when you go through the game, the amount of fatalities are pretty extreme. I think for Shao, I think something slower and
The slow-mo.
yeah, it's like tearing off each finger and then chopping the hand off. Something nice like that.
That's actually a good idea. Slow-mo fatality.
Don't you sell that to
Breaking
me,
it slow. A new fatality, I think, for Behind Itself, I want, my fantasy someday in the future, probably if they do another, version of the game, that Behind has both powers, the ice power and the shadow power. So before, tearing the opponent apart, it just freeze them first, and let the shadow go from behind and break everything to pieces.
If you freeze them, doesn't that take away the pain?
And he's watching. He let the shadows doing it, but he just frees the opponent, the shadow breaking the... That sounds nasty.
Oh, that's so hard. What hasn't been done? Like,
I'm gonna leave it to Ed.
right.
And I was like, I'm trying to think, but I could never do
Right, 'cause
those
I'm like-
ideas justice. They're all so great.
And there's
original.
so many.
Yes.
If you think of through time, like, because my brain just thought of 2, and then I was like, oh, no, that's
they
been done.
exist.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
been done. So I'm like, yeah, that's hard.
A new fatality. I'm gonna go with nose rip. Like just pull the nose off. You be like, I got your nose. Bom, 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 bom. And the blood is just coming out.
You got a little boop.
Yeah, like, boop, check out. You got something right there. Pom. Pull the nose out. The brain comes out too. That would be great. Ed Boon, if you're listening, nose off. Nose off. I can come up with several more if you guys can't do it.
I would like to be able to fly. So whatever death you could create by wing and then fly on out of there.
You could just grab them and take them super high and just drop
Drop
them.
them splat.
Oh,
That's a good
we
one.
have that.
Call
Oh
that.
yeah, they have that. You're right.
Homelander does that, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Superman. Explosive diarrhea.
That would kill everybody.
That would be a
Well,
terrifying
let me try.
fatality.
I don't recommend it.
See, that's a double fatality because it kills the other person who has the explosive diarrhea from dehydration. Another one, a tooth pull. You can pull somebody's tooth out and cut their throat with it. I got a million of these. I love this question. This is great. With their own tooth? That's incredible.
Can I do the rest of this with the girls?
I've thought of this. I've been preparing for this question for multiple years. For many years.
Get me out of here.
Explosive diarrhea.
Okay, along those lines, a beard strangle. You have to.
Beard
If
strangle.
they don't have one, you wait years for them to grow out their beard. You lock them in a cage.
It's called the long game.
You previously said that Johnny Cage was left out of the first film because of his strong personality. So how did you feel like it was the right time to bring him into the story?
Well, it was, we knew from the moment we started on the second film that, Johnny was going to be obviously a huge part of it. And I think we had the time to carefully consider who was going to play Johnny and who was going to be right for Johnny, which is quite a tricky role that Carl has done extremely well. Like the way he's handled the humor, and also what was very important to me and Carl was that there was an emotion underneath, a truthful emotion and a journey that Johnny needed to go on. And I think it was a matter of finding what his journey was going to be, how he could transform, and what his how an audience could sort of go on the ride with him and his character. So once we understood that, and once we decided on that, then we knew what type of Johnny we were creating, and Carl just absolutely smashed it.
In the first film, we didn't actually see the tournament, but now it's finally here, which means even more action, more fighting, and of course, new fatalities. So how are they chosen this time?
Carefully. So I think the tournament adds a certain structure to the story and to the script, and then once we worked out how that was going to function within and drive the story forward and drive the characters, we then used that, and we knew that every piece of action and every fight that we had, there had to be a character evolution through, and the character stories had to go through, and we were using those fights and those conflicts to build the characters and their relationships and how that all works. So I mean, the Blue Portal is a great example of how Liu Kang and Kung Lao come together, and that was obviously a very important aspect and a very central part of this film. And that was just carefully putting in place all of the features and all of the moments and scenes and action that were just going to continually build character. So it always just starts with character.
And we have a very special cameo here, of course. Where did Ed Boon's part come from? Was it his idea? Was it planned from the beginning?
Well, we always knew we wanted to get Ed in there somehow, and he's a fantastic guy, Ed, and he was really helpful and instrumental, and one of the key creative members of the team from the very beginning. So as we were going, we thought, okay, well, we've got to get Ed in there somehow. He can't just, And then once the scene with Johnny and who he meets in that moment, then it was like, oh, that's perfect. And then we were like, Ed, how do you feel about this? And he was like, great, that sounds good to me. So it just sort of happened, like that.
No spoilers, of course, but we can say the ending of this film opens up an interesting path, and we know chapter 3 is already in the works. So is there anything you can say about it to comfort the hearts of every fan who's already eager for the sequel?
No, is the short answer. But I can say that if we just sort of wait until we see how this one goes and don't get too overconfident. But there's a lot. Ed Boon and John Tobias and what Ed's doing at NetherRealm, they've written a lot of stuff, a lot of great stuff. So there's a lot to work with. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And if you'd like to give a shout out, you have a lot of fans here in Brazil.
Well, thank you. Actually, I'm very aware of how popular Mortal Kombat is in Brazil, and I've been to Brazil and I love it. And thank you for making it so popular. And hopefully, I'll get back there soon. So thanks.
Brazil! Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a lovely day.
Oh, shout out to Brazil!